Solid Waste Department guy, Frank Calderon. Thank you for joining us.
Thanks for having me here, Mike.
So we know that the National Recycling Day
It's coming up.
coming up.
America Recycles Day, I think it's November 15th.
And so let's talk about recycling and how about how we can do it in Miami-Dade County, and how this will be celebrated, if you will, by the county and perhaps across the country.
All right. Well, how we do it here, we had different ways of educating our residents, but we basically thought, or we basically came down to, let's just keep it simple. And I won't say the last part of the KISS acronym, the last S. Let's just keep it simple. So we have it down to 5 simple items: paper, cartons, bottles, which can be plastic or glass, and that's the only type of plastic or glass that we accept is bottles. And now I lost my train of thought. Okay, cans and cartons. So there you go.
So if somebody's not real, gung ho, but they could still do a little bit. They could do cans and cartons, boxes. We all get tons of boxes.
Yes.
Here at our plant over here, I can't believe how many boxes we get a day. It's just incredible, right?
And with all everybody having stuff shipped, I mean, it was happening anyway before, but the pandemic, I think, just shot it up.
Yes.
Where people are having stuff delivered to their houses, and it hasn't let up a lot, from what I understand. So those cardboard boxes that the stuff comes in, those are perfect for recycling.
Yes. So if somebody in their home should have a different container before they get to the blue cart in their house or on their patio. That's where they can put their recycled stuff.
They can.
They can put bottles, cans, newspapers, cardboard. If they get it that small, right?
It's political season now. Elections coming up, so all those.
I'm glad you're about to say it and not me.
All those postcards that you get, they can be recycled.
So here we are. We got about 3 more weeks until the final election day. So what you're saying is all that political stuff, instead of putting it where it can
in
burn,
the garbage,
put it in recycling.
You can put it in recycling. All the postcards that you get, all the political postcards. Way back in the day, Michael and I were talking about this before the show. We were talking about it. You used to get phone books. You used to get 3 thick books, one with residential numbers and 2 yellow pages. The old ones, every fall you would get a new one. The old ones you could recycle. I don't know many people that get that anymore. But if you're one of those people, you can take the old ones and recycle them in our program. You don't have to throw them out in the garbage.
And it's such a feel-good thing to do that. When you do, it's like, you may not think that it matters, but it does matter, because your family's watching you, your kids are watching, your grandchildren are watching. It does make a difference.
Yes.
And so recycling is a big deal. People can find out about recycling by going where?
Miamidade.gov/recycling.
And if they can't find it there, they could call 311 and ask some questions as well.
They can call 311 and get answers to the question if they're not, web savvy, or they just prefer to use a phone.
And I am so delighted that my year plus in talking with you, I'm finally able to take some information and give it to my wife, who called the landscaper and said, "Okay, time to clean up the yard," right? And sure enough, she did it the right way. She booked it, right? And she had it out front, and then she also took a picture. And people have come by and continue to dump stuff. It is amazing. I'm going to guess it grew by about 20%.
Wow.
Where people, and they were neatly cut. This is not like some hack. I'm talking about, the ficus trees, they were just cut in pieces, right? And they just keep piling. So for the protection of the homeowner, what should they do as far as making sure they don't get charged for trash that is not theirs?
Taking a picture is helpful, but the biggest thing to do is, if you notice that somebody started, whoever it is, immediately, as soon as you notice that somebody's put some stuff on your pile, call 311 and tell them that you have a bulky, and that's one of the reasons, we have several reasons, but that's one of the reasons why we went down to the appointment system. In the old days, you set it out there, and it could be out there for up to 8 days, and that's a lot of time for somebody to come by and pile stuff on there. Now it's 3 days that you can set it out before your actual appointment day. So that reduces temptation, that reduces illegal dumping. But the minute you see something on there that you didn't put, call 311. That way you don't get dinged. Call 311 and they will, record that, yes, that somebody illegally dumped on your pile.
So when the fellows go out to pick it up, the supervisor is going to say, "Hey, listen, this is over. Yes, but they called up yesterday, the day before.
Yes,
right? And they
there's a
picked that up.
record of it. Yes.
So, and speaking of people just illegally dumping because they didn't want to do it in their yard, tell us again what the county does to try to catch or prevent illegal dumping on the sides of the roads.
Well, we have an entire enforcement division of code enforcement officers that specifically focus on I think it's section 15 of the county code, which is solid waste, on the right of way in our service area, the areas that we service, which is unincorporated Miami-Dade, and also like 10 municipalities that we service for garbage. And they'll go around, they'll look at piles of illegal dumping, they'll investigate, they'll look inside, and they have in several cases or in several locations they have hidden cameras so they can catch the people in the act. Most of the time it's not it's not going to be somebody walking by with an old couch. If somebody could walk by with an old couch, I'm gonna like leave them alone. I'm not gonna confront them for sure. If they could just walk like with the couch on their shoulder or whatever. No, they usually come by in a vehicle, and we're able to get the tags in many cases, and we have gone after those people. We find them. The fines now start at $250, and they can go up depending on the amount and depending on whether you're commercial or not. And in some instances, we work with the Miami-Dade Police Department. Notice I said the word police, with their illegal dumping unit. Yes, they have an illegal dumping unit. They have police officers dedicated to nothing but illegal dumping, and there will be arrests made, and we have had arrests made for illegal dumping.
So maybe they don't care about dumping in outside, which they should, but it costs us, the taxpayers, a lot more money to go.
Yes.
To go to that whole process of an inspector going out, and then you got to call a truck or two, right? And then pick it up, and then take it to a nearby dump. So let's talk about the enormity of the county's job in picking up trash from the green cans. It's all over Dade County, with the exception of some cities.
Yes, it's unincorporated Miami-Dade County. As a matter of fact, on Thursdays at 1 o'clock, we have Learn with DSWM webinar series that we do, and I do a lot of them. And this past Thursday, we showed the map, the service area map, and huge area. Basically, the only places we don't cover are like Hialeah, some areas around North Miami. Not sure if North Miami Beach does their own. South Miami does their own garbage collection, but they have an agreement to do recycling with us. City of Miami does its own garbage collection, Coral Gables, but most of the rest of the county, and Homestead and Florida City do their own, or they're contracted out. Most of the rest of the county, it's us.
And what time do your drivers arrive at the, do you call it plant, office?
Well,
studio,
they have
warehouse?
different places where we stage the garbage trucks
More or
in the
less in
neighborhoods.
the morning. What time do they start?
I want to say 6 or 6:30. They have to show up, and, attendance and all that, and sign in, and all that stuff. I'm not sure of the exact time. I can tell you that they're not allowed to leave before 7 a.m. So at 7 a.m., at some of these places that we have where the trucks are staged or parked, you'll see like a convoy. It looks like a convoy
And they're not
coming
allowed
out.
to leave.
They're not allowed to leave
for
before 7 a.m.
for lots of reasons.
Yeah.
All right. So, and during their day, they more or less, how many homes will they go to?
Each route, each driver will usually service an average of about 1,100.
1,100 homes per day.
Yes.
Does the county operate 5 days a week or 6 days?
Garbage collection takes place 4 days a week.
4 days a week.
Monday, and most people are there. Everybody who gets garbage collection from us is on a 2-day schedule. It's either Monday and Thursdays or Tuesdays and Fridays.
So in the 4 day a week, right? How many homes do you go to?
Ta-da.
Ta-da.
Well, you duplicate.
Right.
So 2,200, but you duplicate 2,200 twice.
Right.
Each driver.
All right. So overall, you service how many homes?
Overall, about 340,000.
So that means in 4 days you're going to 680,000 homes. I mean 600,000
Or
pickups. Pickups.
680,000 pickups. Yeah.
And those are those typically one or two? One.
Most have
Or-
one. Most have one.
In horse
There's a
country,
few that have
sometimes
two.
we have 3 or 4.
There's some people that have more. Yes.
Right. I'm going to get a new one soon. I'm waiting for the wheels to fall off.
Literally.
Yes. if somebody has a problem with their car, they can call 311 or
Yes, they
go
can.
to the county. They'll come out. They'll take or on the website. They can take a look at it. They'll come out. They can fix it.
Either
fine.
repair
if
or
not,
replace.
right. And so the blue ones, which are for recycling, the county does not pick those up, but it's a vendor of the county that picks
It
them
is
up.
a contractor that picks it up under our supervision or management.
And those, they're a little bit smaller, right?
Yeah,
it's-
we do have them the same size as a garbage cart. The default that we issue for the garbage cart is the largest one, and the default, which is 96 gallons, and the default for the recycling cart is the medium, which is 65.
Are they made of heavier materials or the same material?
No, the carts are made of the same material, just different colors.
My blue, unfortunately, is bright blue because I don't put it out as often as I should, right? So your drivers go out, they buy they drive these big trucks, all right? And you have the joystick, and they have the cameras, and they go by, and they have these arms that come out and pick it up and dump it in there. What are some of the things people should not put into their green cans?
Into their green garbage cart, they shouldn't put anything that's like freestanding liquids. They shouldn't put paint. That's a big problem. You get very upset people when there's paint dripping all over their street from a garbage truck, and they blame us. And the reality is, it's somebody who put that in there. You can either take it to our home chemical collection center, donate it to somebody who can use it, or leave the can or leave the lid off the can for a few days and let it dry. If it's hard, dried, you can throw it in your garbage, no problem. Yeah, those are some of the things. Obviously, explosives. There's a lot of things we shouldn't put there. Certain types of batteries, the regular, standard, alkaline, or heavy duty, ever ready, AA, AAA, C, D, 9-volt. Those you can throw in the garbage. Anything other than that, you should probably either find somebody that'll take it for recycling or take it to one of our home chemical collection centers.
So one of the great questions that people would like to know, in 5, 6, 7 years, when all the electric vehicles that are out there today, as their batteries start to become worthless, what are we as a worldwide community going to do with those? What happens?
That is a good question. I don't know. That's something I'm going to probably ask my engineering people. Do we have some capacity? Right now, we will only take, and I don't know that we'll take car batteries, but we'll take lithium rechargeable batteries from
Well, I'm
cell
glad you
phones and
put
stuff
about
like that.
what
at
do
our
people
home
do
chemical
when they have
collection
these
center.
the big lawnmowers with the batteries that aren't any good? We sort of put them to the side, and eventually we go, well, we got to do something. Been sitting over here on this concrete for 3 years.
That's a good question. That's something that we're going to have to think about.
Maybe
If there aren't already, I'm pretty sure there are people in the industry already thinking about these things. But yeah, that's. I don't think that we might take, at some point, we might start taking a lot more one, and I'll have to check to be sure. The automobile ones we probably won't, because that you have to go to the dealership most likely, or maybe you'll have certified mechanics that are not a dealer that can do it, to have to replace the old battery. I don't think that's something a shade tree mechanic can do. That you can do on a weekend. I don't think that we're there yet.
Sorry, I messed up your $10,000 battery.
Yeah. Oops.
Let's talk about there are men and women that drive those trucks, right?
Yes.
Right, and I occasionally see ads of the county's looking for drivers,
Yes.
and they can check. Where do they check to see if they're openings?
Miamidade.gov/jobs, and that's all jobs for our department, and not just our department, but all jobs for the county. I can tell you that we constantly need drivers, but we don't have the advertisement open all the time. If you're interested in becoming a driver for us, just check it regularly. Last time I checked, the starting pay was pretty decent. Started around $39,000, $40,000 a year, something like that. And there's so many benefits that you get from it. And since you do work a lot of holidays, but you don't work Christmas. The 3 holidays you get off: Martin Luther King Jr. birthday, 4th of July, and Christmas Day. The other holidays you do have to work, but you get special compensation for that. What I don't know is if you get extra overtime for it, or if they let you what they call bank the holiday. They give you 8 hours that you can use as leave time in the future. I'm not 100% sure which one it is, or if you get the option to do either one. But you get that as a benefit, a lot of benefits, good health benefits, stuff like that.
Well, there was a great big benefit for one of the drivers that I saw the other day out front of Costa Cuba at an event that we happened to participate in, where the county and solid waste department showed off their new trash collecting truck,
Yes.
garbage truck folks, right?
Yes.
All electric.
Yes.
This
Yes.
this thing was really cool.
Yeah.
And the guy, I said, "Who drives this?" The guy just pointed to
Yeah.
himself. I said, "Good for you." It's gorgeous. Besides, it's pretty. I like big toys like that, but it's all electric.
Yes.
It's incredible, right?
Yes.
And so there's a saying, "Waste to fuel." Is that the term that's used?
Waste to energy.
Waste to energy. So the plant that's out in one of the plants out in Doral, people take the county takes the trash there, they burn it, creates steam, electricity, powers
Yes.
that building. City of Homestead, 40,000 homes more or less,
Yes.
and it's going to be home to where in the afternoons the trucks are going to pull up there and
Yes.
you're going to plug them in.
Yes. And so far, this is the first one for us. We're not the first place in the country. There are other places that have had electric vehicles before us, but we believe that this is the first one where the very waste that it picks up is going to be incinerated to create electrical power that will recharge it. We believe we're the first ones in the country to do that.
That's an incredible thought.
And it's the ultimate goal that eventually, at some point, we have an entire fleet of electric vehicles powered that way by basically just electrical energy generated by incineration of the very waste they pick up.
Okay, I know you're not an engineer, but in my crazy mind, right? County takes the trash and put it there, and it gets burned. How long does it take before that is turned into energy?
Oh, it doesn't take long. I'm not exactly sure, but they process it quickly. They
Within
don't
an
let it
hour,
sit there.
2 hours?
Not
3
that
hours?
fast. Within a day or two, I believe. If something is brought like right now, it won't stay there longer than a day or two.
So it's almost like Back to the
Almost.
Future. You throw stuff in, it gets you stuff. So in this case, trash goes in within a day or two. It's turned into energy, and quite possibly, well, it will be. That one of those trucks that's getting charged up, well, that fuel, that energy would have come from the trash.
Yes.
That's incredible. I know it's mind-boggling. So the the truck is gorgeous, and I think it says electric vehicle on it.
Yes.
Right? And that's one of many, hopefully, that's going to happen in the next few years or decade.
Yes.
And that begins to make a difference when we talk to our children, our little children. That's electric, that's electric, that's electric. So inquiring minds want to know, what happens when there's a hurricane and the power gets knocked out?
We have our own power plant.
Oh, that's true.
We don't have to worry on utilities. Now, if the plant itself gets knocked out, that's something that our engineering people will have to. But we generally don't have an issue. They have a lot of parts that they need on site if something happens. That's a good question for our engineering. What happens if our own plant goes down?
I know
Yeah,
we
we
can't
have to
prepare for
figure something
everything.
Yeah.
And we're lucky here. It's a couple days of misery, and then it gets better. So again, so if people are looking for work, they can go to miamidade.gov/jobs.
/jobs. And it's not just our department, it's all the entire county. But we from time to time we will announce waste collection, waste truck drivers for those who are interested in that position.
When I see people driving big vehicles, whatever it is, I am duly impressed how they get around without killing anybody. Right? I typically have to park my truck way over yonder to make sure that I can
that's
get.
me.
It's perfect. All right. I like over at the local parking garage. What they do is the lines that you they pull in between. They actually have the lines going vertically up the walls of the thing, so you know where you're landing.
That was probably for me.
So that you don't have to be opening the door to go how far. It's perfect.
They probably did that just for me.
So, all right. So let's talk about areas when animals are killed on the road or dropped off. In some cases, some ceremonies. Who picks up the dead chickens, the dead dogs, the dead cats?
For the longest time, you asked me that question. I said I figured it out, and finally, I think a couple of months back, I figured out animal control. As long as it's in the public right of way. If it's on somebody's private property, they have to.
I'm not saying take a shovel and move it to the street, but if it's on your private property. By the way, private property. Let's say you have a gate around your house, and from the street to the gate is 10 feet. Your driveway is included in that part. Is that considered the swale?
Yes.
And who? And
That's public property. However, the property owner who fronts it is responsible for maintaining, like cutting the grass, that sort of thing.
But if there was a dead animal on that swale,
that's a public right of way. Yes.
So If it's on your swale, it doesn't have to be on the street, on the swale. Right? You call the animal control.
Call 311.
311, and they
It'll
come out
patch
and
them
they-
into animal.
and they pick that up. And if you have any dead husbands, that they can do that.
No, that's another department, the medical examiners.
So here we are, the end of October 2022. We have some holidays coming up. Thanksgiving, Christmas, New Year's, all right? Let's talk about Christmas trees, all right? And what people can do with their Christmas trees. I know it's a few months out,
Yes.
but so people can start putting that in because in 3 or 4 weeks people will start having Christmas trees. What should they do with their Christmas trees?
Well, we will put out an announcement for sure. We always encourage people to take. We have not all the TRCs will accept them, but some of them, because some of them just have space limitations. But a lot of them will have a special area where you can bring your Christmas tree. If you have the natural, if you have the artificial, just that artificial tree should just go in the garbage actually. But the natural trees, you can take them to the certain TRCs, and I think also the Doral, the West State Home Chemical Collection Center, they'll accept them there. And what'll happen is that they get converted into mulch, and we make the mulch available sometime in the springtime to residents,
If
to
the
people
trees-
that we serve, basically.
If the tree's small enough, do people sometimes put it into their green dumpsters?
If it's
green carts?
small enough, we don't encourage putting it into into a cart, even cut up. We do have, in addition to doing that, we do make a special pickup in January. We'll announce that as well. We usually do. We'll usually pass by twice to make sure all the trees are picked up, and we will mail to all our customers. In fact, at the end of the year, we typically mail out the recycling calendars for the following year, a waste service guide, which is like it's not meant to be for you to sit there and read the whole thing straight, but it's a guide, a reference that you can look through to see what the different services we provide. And we also include information on Christmas tree disposal and recycling, because at some point we will pick them up. But the ones that we pick up on the curb, those do not get recycled into mulch.
But at some point, there'll be a place where people can go pick up mulch and continue spreading that good cheer.
Oh, and the smell is really good.
I know,
The pine
it's-
smell is
yes.
awesome.
So we're going to wrap it up here. Again, happy holidays to you in advance. All right, happy
Thanks, you
Halloween,
too.
Thanksgiving, Christmas, and every other holiday that we all get to celebrate. I want to thank Andres, who's over in the control panel over there. Frank Calderon, again from Miami-Dade Solid Waste Department. Thank you so much. Great show.
Thank you, Michael.
Thank you, folks. Have a good day.